What happens when love ends in an instant and the life you built together keeps moving without them? You wake up the next morning and the world hasn't stopped, but you have. And somehow you have to learn to keep moving in both worlds at once. There are moments that divide life into before and after. The unimaginable ones, the ones that stop time, arrive without warning. For Michael Webb, that moment came when his wife, Teresa, just 48 years old, suffered from an aneurysm to the aorta while her mother was driving her to the hospital. In a single afternoon, the rhythm of the entire family changed forever. Their daughter, Mackenzie, had just launched her nursing career. Their son, TJ, was in his final year of college. And Michael, her husband of 25 years, her partner since they were 15, was left learning how to live in a world that suddenly felt unfamiliar. In this episode of Who Are You Now, we explore what it means to rebuild after the unthinkable, to find breath again when the air has been taken from you. Michael shares how faith, gratitude, and the love of his children carried him through the fog and back, one small step at a time. This isn't a story of moving on. It's a story of learning to live with what remains and to trust that love doesn't end. It just changes form. So before we begin, I wanted to share that Michael and Teresa, or T to me, they were my college roommates. And I had the honor of standing beside them at their wedding. And after they moved to Orange County, I thought we'd have more time to reconnect, to sit and talk, to just be together. But I was in the thick of raising kids and working so much that time never came. And that's part of the reason this conversation is so important to me. It's a chance to honor T's life, your love, and a reminder that time is never guaranteed. So, Michael, thank you for being here.
Having me.
And I'm going to call him Mike through the interview because that's just, I'm not sure what you prefer, but that's how I know him.
That'll work.
Mike and T. I know this isn't an easy story to tell, but it's one that holds so much truth and love and courage. So thanks for coming.
Yes, it does.
It does. Okay, so you and T met 15. Really rare love story.
Yes, we did. We met at 15.
Can you tell me about those early years?
Yes. I mean, I really knew about T a few years before. She was a cheerleader for my older brother's football team.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I would get in trouble looking at them practicing while I was supposed to be practicing playing football.
Right.
And so I kind of knew of her, but didn't know where she went. But we really got to know each other at 15 years old.
Wow.
When she had a boyfriend, it didn't go well, and found her on her rock crying and went up to her and started talking.
So it kind of started in friendship then.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
And so I know you guys broke up for a short period of time in college.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I was there for the reunion also.
Yes.
She and I also worked together. What drew you back together in college?
Well, I thought we kind of went our ways, but of course, Teresa was always on my mind. I had a girlfriend when I was out in Arizona for about 9 months. And we had mutual friends that were at University of Arizona that were very close with Teresa. And I had found out she had gotten into a pretty horrific jet ski accident with her and her best friend. A jet ski guy was drunk, ran him over on a raft. And Teresa broke a few ribs. Her friend pretty much lacerated her whole face. So because we had not talked or saw each other in 18 months, I decided to write her a card to see if she was okay. And I was thinking about her. And that led to a voicemail coming home from a night evening with my girlfriend. of our, let's just say it, love song from high school. Let's just say it didn't go well with a girlfriend. She asked what that was. I said, oh, it's probably my roommate's girlfriend sending some song on the, back then we had answer machines.
Answer machine. So everybody could hear, right? Yeah.
She didn't say a word.
Goodness. She didn't?
But I knew then she must have got my letter. Mm-hmm. Reached out, was coming home for one of my brother's birthdays. And she said, hey, I'll just pick you up. Why don't we go to lunch? And so she picked me up at LAX looking phenomenal as always. And let's just say lunch turned into a rekindled love affair.
The whole weekend.
The whole weekend. I almost missed the birthday party. And everyone was quite pleased to see her. Mm-hmm. She was well loved in my family.
Very. And you have a very big family.
Yes. Very large.
Very large.
And it's hard to be very loved in my family.
Because there's so many of them.
I come from a family of 11 siblings. So when you go through them all, you know, when everyone seems to love you, because other girlfriends, they're all, I don't know. I don't know about her. But they love Teresa.
Well, who didn't love Teresa?
Right.
She was pure light.
Yes. She was an angel.
So you've told me that you had an incredible life together, and I witnessed it. And there was adventure and travel and family. What do you think made your partnership so strong over 30, 40 years?
Well, to be completely honest, I think we just loved being together. And we always wanted to, aside even when we had kids, always wanted to make trips for ourselves, just us.
I think that's really important.
Whether it was flying her mom, her parents up, my parents up to take care of the kids, because I went on a handful of trips for the company I worked with all over the world. And some we brought the kids and some we said, you know what, this is our trip. And so we always made sure at least once or twice a year, we took a trip, just us.
And did you find that just really helped you guys stay connected as a couple?
Yeah.
Versus family unit?
And always taking time, even when we went to bed at night, just love on one another. And, you know, people say, oh, I don't have the time, I'm exhausted. I disagree. I think everyone has time if you make it. I think when you are very into each other, you like to go to bed and find the time.
You find the time.
You find the time.
And find the time during the day.
We kept that strong for 34 years.
Yeah, you did. You guys had a lot of love.
Yes.
And, you know, I always talk about the 4 bodies on the podcast. It's the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual.
Yes.
And I feel like you guys had all of them. And that's what made the whole connection with the whole person and the whole person. Every single one of those areas.
Yeah.
Very connected.
Yeah. Even if spiritual was stronger on her, she still always brought me in. You're right. We covered all the boundaries on that. Yeah. Those 4 spectrums. And we just always made sure to focus on each other, you know, because some people, when they have kids, they like to put them first. And that, once you get used to that, you start losing touch with each other.
Oh, I lived that. Right? You know that.
We knew that we needed to always put each other first because the kids will see that love.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. That when kids see parents loving on each other, they only have a really good example of what they want their future life partners to be.
Yes.
But also they feel very safe and very loved within that.
Yeah. And it's also made it difficult for my kids because they want that kind of love. So when they've been in relationships where I just don't have that, I said, well, it's a lot of people don't.
Did you and T, I mean, you guys got together so young, but during that time before you actually got married, and you got married very young and had kids very young, did you sit down and figure out what you wanted your life to look like together or build a foundation that you guys could refer to, or did it come very natural?
It was very natural. We knew if we deeply loved one another, no matter what came in our world, it would be just fine. You know, it was just like that. I mean, she'd always say, honey, if you lose your job and we got to live in a truck on the beach, I'm there with you.
Right.
And she meant it.
Oh, yes, she did.
And so when you know you got a partner in life like that, it makes everything easy. The stress of, I need to do all this, I never had that kind of stress.
Was it because she didn't put those stresses on you?
No, she did. Never did. When I lost my job, doing very, very well. So whatever we need to do, just let's do it. Mm-hmm. As long as we're together, I'm well. Love you.
That have felt nice because that's a rough transition.
Sure, because I've seen a lot of marriages where that does not go well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. where husband loses a very good job and they lose their houses and their cars. And, I mean, immediately I got rid of her Escalade and she got a Hyundai.
Mm-hmm.
She cared nothing about it.
No, she didn't care about that.
No,
Right?
no, she wasn't into the material. She just wanted a long lasting love.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to make it 50 years.
I know. I remember her saying, you guys got to, 25 officially married, but 34 isn't bad.
No,
especially at 48 years old.
I know. It's the one thing that makes me realize how lucky I was.
Yeah, you're very lucky. And so was she. You had the love of your life for more years than most people ever find in marriages that get, they think that they get married older so that they're wiser. You had a full life of marriage.
Yes.
Even before 50. And that's incredible.
I felt like we were married at 15.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we already knew our kids' names at 16. So.
Oh, I remember the high school days. This is what we're going to name them.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So when you think back on that season before she passed, we talked about this a little bit. What do you remember about who she was becoming? You mentioned that she was deepening in her faith.
Yes.
And the sunsets and her connection with God.
Yeah, it was interesting because, even when I talked to the kids as well, it's like she planted seeds of Bible verses, remember to put God first, always fighting, chasing that sunset, to the point of it would frustrate us. Like we would be somewhere driving. It's like, you got to hurry so we don't miss that sunset. I'm doing 85, 90. I mean, we might miss it completely if I get pulled over.
That's true. That's true. Well, and is that part of the reason you guys moved right across the street from the beach? So
yes.
you could actually see the sunset from your balcony.
Yes. So she had it every night.
She'd go sit out there and watch the sunset.
She was practically in her own heaven.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was a pretty sweet spot to live too.
Yeah. To see the beautiful sunsets all the time. She felt like she had that spiritual relationship with God, just being part of that beautiful sunset and also seeing dolphins.
Yes, dolphins.
Yeah, that was her spirit animal.
Well, and she went and volunteered and worked down at the Ocean Institute so that she could be near the sea animals and creatures and continue teaching little ones.
100%.
So she really embraced her gifts and talents and her passions.
Yes.
For nature and children, earth.
Yes. I did a lot of the jobs that the college kids graduated did not want to do, so she could always be on the boat with kids and see the dolphins and the whales, doing sleepovers. Who knows what was going on? I mean, the boat, I can't imagine sleeping on a boat overnight with a bunch of kids, but
she loved it though.
She loved it.
That was her gift.
Yeah. She always came home excited. Like, that was great. It was wonderful. Got to see all these different whales.
Oh,
yeah.
So, okay. Teresa passed suddenly at 48 and her mom was actually driving her to the hospital.
Yes.
What do you remember most vividly about that day?
Well, I was at a work conference at the Four Seasons, so we were down there a couple of days before.
So it was a work trip.
It was a work trip. She was already in Vegas a week before, which kind of makes me wonder what really happened, if she had COVID or not, but COVID wasn't out.
Right.
And we went out to dinner with a friend of ours who was in Vegas for work. And she seemed quite tired. And it was around 9:30. And my friend was going through divorce. And he goes, well, why don't you two go out? I'll just go back to the hotel. I'm just feeling really tired. Mm-hmm. Well, really? When don't you want to go out? She's like, I don't know. Probably better if I get some rest, which was very odd. But I didn't really think about it too much. Yeah. But so that seemed kind of different for her because she's always wanted to be around, having a good time. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of strange not being with her when I went out because usually she always, no matter if I'm with 8 guys, she always wants to be around. Mm-hmm. So it was different that night, 2 nights before. And then the next night she went home and spent the night with her parents. Mm-hmm. And Kinsey came home as well from school. Mm-hmm. Actually from work. And it was about 2 a.m. when Kinsey woke up and went to go pick up her friend on a red eye from New York. Woke up Teresa, and Teresa felt like she had acid reflux, which she's never had in her life. and kind of didn't go away. And around 6 o'clock, made some breakfast. Her mom came out, said, "How are you feeling?" She said, "Well, I just not going away." But she made herself breakfast and all that. And she said, "Well, why don't you go get ready and maybe we'll go get it checked out." So I think it was around 7:30, 8 o'clock. It was pretty much around the exact same time that Kobe Bryant's helicopter went down. So I was getting a lot of texts in the morning from friends like, "Did you see that?" And then I'm getting really blown up while I'm trying to do my job and talking to some people that I might bring over to the company, and it just won't stop. And it's Jack, her father, trying to get a hold of me.
Mm.
And that doesn't happen. And he left a voicemail saying, "Mike, it's not good. I need you to get to the hospital now. It's not good with Teresa." So right at that moment, I froze because I could hear the panic in his voice. So what had happened was her mom on the way to the hospital, Teresa texted me and the kids, "I'm on my way to the hospital. I'm fine. I'm just going to go check this out. I think I have acid reflux, but we're just going to check it out." 15 seconds later, she passed.
Wow.
Like her mom saw in the rearview mirror her head against the back seat window. Mm-hmm. And so her mom pulled over in like a Walgreens and started doing CPR, and nothing was there. Mm-hmm. So Jack called 911, and she was passed at that moment. And driving in the Uber to the hospital my mind was all over the place. And Kinsey called me and said, "It's just not good." But wouldn't tell me.
Right.
"Just get here because we're waiting in the waiting room before the doctor comes and see us." So very eerie. Felt like I was just moved into a nightmare. Dream. Wasn't real. And it just didn't feel real at all. You know, when I got to the hospital and we got to see her, it was, she didn't look like she had passed. She looked like she was at complete peace with this smile on her face. Pretty powerful. You know, you expect seeing tragedy when someone passes, and it's almost like it looked like she was where she knew she was going to be eventually, in the arms of God. So, you know, we had to fly TJ home from college. So when he arrived, and we already knew.
You didn't tell him yet, right?
No. And when he arrived and saw through the window, screamed in the hospital, the most eerie scream, yelling, and dropped to the floor. Never forget that moment. I don't think a lot of people in that hospital would.
No. How long after did he arrive after you guys had been?
I think it was probably an hour and a half. And they're all, "We need to move Teresa. We need to, continue, and can you just give us a few more, please?" So we had to go, give us as much as you can, because I guess blood was pooling up behind her back.
Oh, so they needed to.
Yeah, they needed to get to the next steps. And because she was a donator on her ID, something she really wanted to do. So as time kept going, that could go away.
Yeah, it's vital. So Jack and Patty were there, and you and Kinsey. Could you process that shock? I mean, even before TJ came in, and really probably the sounds he was making was what you were feeling on the inside, I'm sure.
I try to keep as strong as possible, and just kind of try to feel it all. It just didn't seem real, and one thing we didn't talk about was I felt like God had already put me in a situation. When I was 14, I lost my best friend in my arms from a tragic accident. And I was in a bad place. And if it wasn't for Teresa, as much as I wanted to be with her on that rock when I talked to her, I was in a bad place. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have been where I am. Like a lot of my friends who went down a bad place. I mean, he was a guy who grew up since 5 years old. And I sometimes wondered, did God put me in that situation knowing that this would happen again? To get me kind of prepared for the tragedy that could possibly happen. Didn't think it when my best friend died, but started thinking and processing later, like, why did he put me? Because I never understood. Why would you take a 14-year-old? You know, I mean, everyone always says they take the good ones.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm going to be here a while. Just kidding.
Oh, I think Teresa worked on you pretty good. You're
She
pretty
did.
good. You're a pretty good man now. I didn't know you till college. College was still iffy, but you're a really good man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're a very good father, and you were a very good husband. And
she molded me pretty well.
She did.
She did.
She actually really did.
Yeah, she sure did.
Could have gone either way for a little while.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, our
no doubt.
Days. So I remember I was driving around the corner to my office, and this was the day after it had happened. And I see my phone, and it's T's name. So I pick it up, and I think I'm talking to T. And it's Kenzie telling me that her mom had passed. And in my head, as I'm processing it, I think it's T telling me Patty had passed.
Right.
So I think I'm talking to T at this time, although we're not exchanging names. And I said, do you want me to drive out there right now? What, no, I'm okay. Because I knew that you guys were just in Vegas. And then I said, well, is there anything I can do? And this is probably 7:45 in the morning. I would say 7:30 in the morning. And she said, just make sure Glenn gets a hold of my dad. And I was pulling into like my parking space, and it hit me that it was Kenzie, not T. And I like hyperventilated. And I'm glad I was pulling in, because I would have crashed.
Right.
I just kind of had to sit there, and I was shaking like, it's not real. Like, how can that be?
Those calls were difficult.
It took me a long time to process that. Yeah, it was.
Sometimes
she's 48, and you guys just moved down here, and I was supposed to be like, I was going through some rough times in my marriage also, and T is always a light. And I thought, oh, we're going to be able to walk the trail and just be and hang out because the kids are leaving, and it all went away in an instant.
No, you're 100%. That was one of the most difficult, is having to call people. And to hear some of our closest mutual friend guys screaming in the phone. Never heard that in my life. The guys that were in our wedding, like Dan Bloom and Jason, like the scream, the yelling, like
confusion.
Yeah. It was no. I think if it was switched, I think they could have understood it more. Because I went through I probably went through 9 or 10 lives in my life. So I think it could have been understood. But Teresa, no. Just because they knew how spiritual.
She was spiritual. She was in great health.
Yes.
I mean, she took care of herself.
Very good health. Yes.
She was trying to get you to take care of yourself. So it was very surprising, because we were like, oh, we would think that might go first.
Yeah. 100%.
Just because of lifestyle. And, I don't know. I still don't. I think about it. I try to reflect on it. I'm so grateful she was here on earth, and I'm so grateful she was part of my life for so long.
Me too.
I missed the fact that I feel like I missed a window where you guys actually lived really close, and I was buried.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of guilt there. Not that she was waiting for me, but just to be able to have that connection all the way through, I don't know, junior year of college. And just, you guys are 2 miles away.
Right.
Yeah,
it's true.
There's a lot of sadness there for that.
And those are the things that you reflect on and wonder about. Stop living in that future and live in that present moment.
Yeah, you have to live in the now.
And I think Teresa and I did that well with one another. Didn't worry about the future. I think it was also taught to me from losing my best friend, like, life is not guaranteed.
No.
And, when people pass and it's not natural, it's accident, it's sudden, it's a young age, it wakes you up. And it makes you feel like, I do need to start living. And boy, that one woke me up even more.
So you described to me the feeling that you lost clarity and you were living in a fog and you forgot who you were, or maybe you never knew. What was that experience like day to day?
Yeah, when you lose your better half, someone that gives you good guidance through life and shares a deep love, when you lose that, it's hard to get clarity on any type of future because it was taken.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought we were going to go till 80, 75. What shit, I would even go to 65, you know, to get it all back again. I don't know if I'll ever really have complete clarity.
About her death or about
just
who you're
what
becoming?
Of what I knew my life was probably going to be like I could sense my future when I was with her. But now it's kind of like I live so deeply in this present moment that I really don't care about the future. So I feel like I've lost the clarity of what my future is supposed to look like and how it might have been. When you're when you become empty nesters and you're living on the beach, something she's always wanted to do for 23 years, and you get her there, and then she only gets a few years of that. I mean, she was in her happiest moment.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think she was at peace.
Yes.
She felt complete.
Yes. Loved her job, loved what she's doing, loved the friends she had. You know, I mean, we went in a circle, for 23 years.
You had a really good life.
Yeah.
Really good life. And so that's something that you can hold on to.
Yes.
Even though it feels like it was cut short, that you made the most of your time together and you had a beautiful family and you had a beautiful partnership. That's it's so rare, Mike.
Yeah, I feel that because I'm now in the quasi dating world, and I run into a lot of women who've gone through horrific divorces and all these things. It's like, wow, I have a hard time understanding that. But now I understand a little more clarity after going through it. I just went through in a slight relationship. I now get it.
You get it?
I do.
Did that give you more wisdom?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Probably clarity in a way of I know what I don't want. When you get in a relationship and your head isn't clear, you probably get in relationships you shouldn't be.
Yes. There's holes that we fill.
Yes.
And I think we don't look at a lot because there's this hole that you want to fill.
Right.
And so it takes a while for the clarity to come. With you being with T since you were 15, and I'm sure you guys dated a little bit in college, there's no other reference. So you just think everybody is pure like she is and has good intentions and is positive and supportive and it has the greater good in mind like she always did. And not everybody is like that you find.
Yeah, which isn't the truth, but everyone's going through their stages of things. And
well, I think that life here on earth is about learning lessons,
100%,
mastering yourself, and then helping people along the way, holding space for them so that they can heal.
True.
And not caring what's not ours, but also having empathy and having some compassion. But that doesn't mean that you stay.
Right.
Yeah. It still has to be the fit. And so I'm glad that as you were out in the dating world and you've dated some, that you're starting to see what it's like for the rest of us, where like you have to filter through and in real time. Just, I like that you said stay in the present, because it's so easy with someone to say, well, could it? And I don't know, at our age, it's really about like, well, what's going on right now?
Right.
Because
100%.
We all have built our own lives and have our own kids and have our activities and hobbies and jobs. And it's like, do we fit? Because I'm not trying to find someone to build a life with. I have a life.
Right.
So it's got to be someone that is complementary, adds value, right? And most of all, can like lighten up and have fun and just love deeply.
Right. You also got to understand each other's situation.
Yes.
Because that's hard, especially depending on who came from more damage.
Sure.
And what is their process. And you try to understand it and you can't, because you relate it to what you went through. Like you said, what I had is extremely unique.
Rare.
And it's rare. Like when people ask me when I'm traveling, like, what's the one thing that, you know, you can really say about your relationship? I said, I'm just so grateful to God that he gave me 34 amazing years.
Yes.
Because I look at 7, 15, 25 years of these relationships, and people are staying in relationships 10 years too long and taking time away from other possibilities that are right there.
They don't realize that,
right.
Man, time you don't get back.
Exactly. And that's what I realized in just a recent relationship I was in. Like, should I have moved on 2 years earlier, a year earlier?
Well, you moved on when you knew it was time to move on.
Yes.
That's all. And you can't ruminate over that.
Exactly.
When the clarity comes, you make the decision. And I know that you're the type of person that when you have clarity, you make the decision. And
yes.
I don't want to say you don't look back, but you're certain of your decision.
I'm not looking back, definitely.
But you're certain that you made the right decision for you at the time.
Yeah. The only thing that makes it difficult is just knowing what I had. It's very hard to find that, you know, because I really, this is hard to say because I almost truly believe that people get maybe one shot at having their soulmate. And gosh, if God gave me 2, I mean, that would be unbelievable. Mm-hmm. But I think I've learned to understand that just appreciate the one you got.
Yeah. Most people live their whole life.
Don't have it.
And don't even get a glimpse.
Right. So just enjoy life and find that person that can kind of enjoy it with you is probably, you know, I'm going to take some time away from that world of dating, you know, because dating is different. I'm more traditional.
I know.
You know, I'm not a dating app guy.
I can't do it.
No, because I start talking to too many people. I'm all,
I won't even get on the apps. Yeah. I'm just like, this is not organic. It's not. And the stories that I hear, so I'm out. It'll either have to happen in the grocery store or whatever. Otherwise,
exactly.
I actually really like my life.
Yeah. And that's what, now that I'm back at work, because I did try retiring during this break and got back to work on March. And so I think this is going to be good for me to travel because I get to travel the world for my job. And like you said, I mean, I wanted things to be more natural and organic than it is this whole,
I don't get it,
superficial dating world.
And the thing is, you know, that the qualities that you find that you connect with. And although it's going to present differently in a different spirit because of everybody's life path is so different,
right?
It doesn't mean that you won't connect in with someone, but you have to be open to it being in a very different way.
Yes.
Right? It's not going to be that childhood, forever love, naming our kids at 16.
I know.
It's going to be a mature love.
Sure.
One that hopefully has wisdom behind it of life and how not to take things too seriously and how to live in the moment. And so there might be some newness different because of the time of life that you're in. So don't discount it because you're a really good man.
Oh, I appreciate that. No, I'm not discounting. You just, when you have that love, it's worse than a drug. It fulfills you. And hopefully one day.
Well, and taking some time to
that's what I'm going to do.
Fulfill yourself.
Yes. That's what I need to do.
Place of like,
because I think one thing that we haven't talked about is to go through this January 26th, this horrific day. And then the world pretty much shut down with COVID. Less than 8 weeks, 6 weeks later. And it's just like a time still. And part of me is glad that happened because it gave me that time. Because the beach, living on the beach and walking it every day and being with the ocean and doing, seeing the sunset, it made me feel closer to Teresa and heal easier rather than having to get back to life, and kind of just put it back.
Where life is still going, but you're not.
Right. And there were a lot of amazing things that happened to me walking on the beach. One thing that brought severe tears in my eyes was on my birthday. I was walking the beach and I see this reflection in the ocean. And, keep in mind, I'm walking the beach 5-6 times a week. And I've never seen this thing moving on the beach. And so I take a seat and I'm just watching this thing come closer. It finally comes up on the sand and I go and pick it up. And it was a balloon that said, "Happy birthday."
Oh, she said, "Happy birthday to you."
And all my 300 days of walking the beach. I had never seen that before.
Wow.
And it was on my birthday. So that just,
That's tea.
Yeah.
The ocean. I thought you were going to tell me you saw a pot of dolphins.
I did. Actually, there was that in the back,
too?
but I was so concentrated on this reflection coming closer to me because I had never seen it before.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I remember saving it at home, and the kids are all, "Oh my gosh!"
It's totally something she would do too.
Oh yeah,
totally something she would do. Well, now, how did you, Mackenzie and TJ, kind of start finding your way through that fog? I mean, especially because of COVID. Did the kids come home? Was it?
Yes. So TJ came home immediately. He never went back. I mean, college pretty much shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in his last semester, and they basically said, "Hey, we want you to write this one report."
We're done.
It was kind of like our last semester where our school shut down because of the earthquake, and we didn't have classes. It was kind of that similarity, and which was good for TJ. Kinsey had to go back to work, so that was tragic.
That was really hard.
To be going back to work in a moon suit, and to put that on all the time, and to see tragedy with people dying of COVID kids, because she worked in the NICU and with pediatric, and seeing those young souls, that was hard for her. And I kept telling her, "Why don't you just quit? You'll figure this out later." And she didn't want to. So I think it was just about being together. We all lived in my place. And as it got easier, then I think Kinsey ended up moving out, went back with her boyfriend, but ended up breaking up with him, but started living with friends, trying to just slowly get back into life. And I get it. I mean, to be around what she had to be around after your mom passes, because Teresa was very close with her kids.
Very.
I mean, Teresa was out trying to take care of Kinsey through horrible anxiety. And that's where she started planting seeds of spiritualness, leaving things behind that Kinsey didn't realize what that was all about at the time.
I remember. So
very powerful to see all that she left. But it's just, we focused on being and helping each other through it all,
And you told me about having to become more of a sensitive father because the balance was off because T was that very.
Yeah, because I was raised in a family, stay strong, and you don't
talk about your feelings.
Don't show your tears. And I think that was affecting my kids because there were times, I cry in my own personal way. I don't like to break down in front of my kids.
No.
Or Teresa's parents, I'll tear up, I'll have tears come down, but to completely let it loose from deep within.
Did you?
I couldn't do that around my kids.
Did you do that in private?
Yeah. I did a handful of times on the beach.
Okay, good. Because you have to, to let it out.
And sometimes on trips, when one of our love songs would come in, or you just in that moment.
When you miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you allow it to come out, though.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to allow it around other people.
I agree.
I've never, like when my best friend died, everyone's bawling. I'm carrying the casket, and I did bawl, but I mean, up to that point, I just knew I was always I think it's strength for people, of maybe it's just because of how I was raised within my family. I mean,
and generationally, I've done some stuff on toxic masculinity, or just the generations of us being Gen Xers. We didn't get a lot of nurturing. And then especially the boys at that time, it's go provide, protect, and don't talk about your emotions. You're not supposed to have any.
Right.
And so as we're trying to teach our younger sons and men, it's okay to have emotions.
Right.
Appropriately. Right. It builds resilience, and it actually builds the vulnerability. To me, shows more strength than the stoic.
Yeah.
So I think that narrative, so to speak, is changing, which is good.
Yeah.
But so you being a Gen X or one of us, like, how did that sensitivity for your kids, to be there for your kids, how did that start showing up for you?
I just knew I need to have a softer heart, and just
well, you got a soft heart. You might not show it,
but it's that Teresa love for the, giving, hugging the kids and just being there for them. And let him know it's going to be okay. And,
So did you do that?
oh,
Did you
yeah.
step into Teresa's vibe?
Yes. Even though I probably would have done it. It's just I just know Teresa just had a different effect in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Her heart in that world, loving kids and just loving everyone. I mean, she never judged anybody. Like even when we were in high school, like she would always go to the kids that were alone and love on them and tell them I mean, that's just the kind of person she was.
Yes.
So I couldn't get that sensitive,
right.
But I think I found the middle part.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
and still today, I'm still trying to help Kinsey and TJ's times, but Kinsey is, she goes through her anxiety and it's powerful and something I've only got to experience a couple times, and now I can relate because I've never had that before.
Right.
Because of the way I was raised, So.
Well, and learning how to hold space for each other, because with anxiety, it's paralyzing and it is extreme fear, and you're going so far outside of what's present, because in the present you're safe.
Yes.
That the only thing you can really do for a person is hold space for them and tell them that they're safe and that you're not going anywhere, or I'm right here with you, to sort of bring them back into the present.
Yes.
And, you can do that through breath or through talking or just simply being.
Yeah, I do well with Kinsey with sarcasm. I try to make her laugh.
Such a dad. Yeah.
I try to make her laugh because then she realizes it's okay.
It's not so serious. Yeah. That's a good tactic too. When did all of you, but particularly you, start realizing that life, as painful as it was moving forward, and that at some point you had to step into that movement?
Well, I mean, with COVID slowing down the world, I think Kinsey had to step in that moment before a lot of us. I think it was about a year and a half later, I think we had to realize that, we can't be in standstill the rest of our lives. I think TJ made the decision. Some of his friends moved down to San Diego, and it's time for him to move out of the house. And he was living the life, but it was in standstill. Like, got him a job in the field I'm in, and he didn't like it, which I don't blame him. And now he's found his place. I think them finally moving out of the house, because the place we lived in on the beach, it just had so much resemblance to Teresa. Yeah. And to see it all the time, and it was nice, but it was also, we're in the standstill. And we're not moving forward, which was okay for a while, but your kids have to get going. Eventually I got to get going.
Have you gotten going?
Yeah. I think, like I said, I started dating, but just got involved with a girl and just probably made a big mistake in moving her and her kids in. That was tragic because it affected me and my kids, especially Kinsey.
I did tell you that, though.
Yeah. I wasn't listening.
I know.
I think that's one thing people need to realize is you got to be a lot more sensitive, because I think it was probably 2 years, year and a half, 2 years after seeing this girl, I moved her and her kids in at the kindness of my heart. Because Teresa did tell me we did talk about death a lot, by the way, about what would you do. And, sometimes we joke. And sometimes one thing that she did tell me that always stuck with me was, I just hope you find a good woman that has great kids and you can be there for them just like Jack was for me. I wish she never told me that, because I thought I had that until I moved it in. So now I need a process of how to get out of this the right way, and probably stuck in it a little too longer than I should have, for the sake of her.
That always happens when there's kids.
For the sake of her daughter, so she could graduate. Very good, just to get her to that point.
Right.
But it didn't do any good service with the relationship and the friendship of the woman I was with. I learned a big lesson, but I probably listened to Teresa a little too much on that groundwork of finding a woman with young kids, probably around the same time that when Teresa was at Teresa's age, the girl was, 12 or 13. And so it's kind of like, wow, this is my neighbor. And
well, but maybe that was,
but it was organic. It was traditional.
It was organic, but it was also a good lesson.
Oh yeah.
So
it was definitely the biggest lesson I've ever learned in my life.
Wow.
By far.
We'll have to talk separately about
Yeah, that's a whole different subject.
those are the lessons you never forget.
No.
And so you take that and you reflect on that, and it helps you choose differently the next time.
Take your time.
Oh,
I got to take my time.
Very much so. All right. So let's talk about when you actually found that clarity, because you told me that you took a 35-day trip through Southeast Asia. Was that for work?
Yes, that was last year.
And it was solo?
It was solo. It was the first solo trip I've ever done that didn't have to do with work.
Oh, so this is a personal trip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
This is something I wanted to do, and I would tell my neighbor, who became my girlfriend, I would tell her I really want to do this, but COVID was around, so I'm not going to take this trip during COVID. And at the time, she thought it was great. And then I told her, please, whatever you do, don't fall in love with me, whatever you do.
You can't tell a girl that.
I did.
That's like exactly what they're going to do.
And she said the same thing. So I said, yes, I got that clarity.
Okay. Now you're a prize.
So when this trip came around, it was last year. And I said, by the way, I'm taking this trip. And it was supposed to be 14 days. It turned into 18 days. And because I wanted to go to Thailand and see these beautiful islands, and I wanted to see some other parts, but I know I couldn't get on a flight for 25 hours straight. So I went to the Philippines first. And man, I am so glad I did, because I literally think I ran into some of the most amazing people I ever found in my life.
My people are amazing.
I've never met such love of men and women, and of people who have nothing. But show you the biggest love and happiness that you'll never see in your life. I mean, it is a different place. And I'm not going to say Manila was like that, but as you got to the islands
are definitely like that.
And I just felt my soul opening more and more, and clarity of like, probably I need to move on from my relationship. And secondly, I need to give myself that time to just open my heart to a lot of things, and not just have it over here where I think it was, but it wasn't.
Right.
And I started realizing that I'm only doing myself a disservice, as well as the woman I was with. I need to go solo in life for a while. I just have to learn how to unwind it, because I'm not good at unwinding a relationship.
Well, I don't know if you unwind it. You just have to end it. And
yeah. Well, yeah.
Love and grace, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, you try. So I went to the Philippines, I think 10 days, Thailand for another 11 or 10 days, Vietnam, and then South Korea. And every time I left the city and got to the tropical islands, I just felt this amazing feeling of there's a bigger world out there than just the small world I'm living in. I saw some of the most majestic, and I've been to a lot of places in my life. I saw some of the most majestic, magical places I've ever seen that I didn't think were real.
That's how you know God exists.
Yeah, you see this. You go to Palawan, El Nido, and you go venture on a scooter in that one, you're going to see things and water clarity that looks like glass. Same thing in the islands in like Krabi and Phuket. I mean, it just being around those people, because you get in the cities, you're not going to get that feeling. And everyone's on the go. Everyone's.
It's a lot like here.
It's like watching bees getting pissed off in a beehive. First, you get to islands, you see the relaxation, you see the difference of people, and it started reflecting on me. Like,
so the island part, what did that teach you about yourself?
There's no rush. Slow down and trying to run into something new. Learn to appreciate what you've had, and love will find you again.
After taking that journey, do you have a feeling of what the possibility of what might come next for you? Not in just love, but in life?
Yeah, but I think, being where my kids are at, I'll be completely honest. I mean, if I didn't have my kids, I probably would have just parked it in either Philippines or Thailand, and just because it's so incredibly cheap and you could buy a place right on the beach for literally nothing. And I think it's a time for me to really slow down and really kind of do what I do in my work, but also allow me to watch my kids evolve in their relationships, because I really think they found their ones.
They did?
Yeah.
Kinsey?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to go to dinner.
Yeah, that's
and
another
catch up.
series.
Yeah.
But to see them both be in there, I think it's
Wow.
brought this fulfillment in their heart that I think both of them lost so tragically.
Yeah.
TJ ran into a relationship he probably shouldn't have been in. And now he's in one that she has a lot of similarities to T
Wow. Really?
in a lot of ways.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it's neat to see. She's got a big heart. She's got a bright smile, but she also has that sass that Teresa had to me that keeps it on his toes. But it's good. You know,
Well, and
it's
he'll
not
be lucky.
it's not a weakness, and her parents are amazing. When I met him, I felt like I've known him since I was in grade school.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
Right.
it's good to see them going through this.
Fingers crossed for TJ.
Yeah. And Mackenzie, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, all right. You've expressed gratitude for God's plan. And I think that your faith, T's faith, has been interwoven throughout your relationship. How does faith guide you now?
I almost feel Teresa's guiding me now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a faith in her spirit, which she's always told to me. I mean, she would say things like, if I go first, just know no matter where your relationship with Christ is, you have an entry into heaven because of my relationship. I'm all, okay, I don't know how to process that, but whatever. You're not going first. I am. I think it's just, like I told you, it's just learn to let things come to you and stop looking for things.
Yeah. And
it's hard to do. I got ADHD. I mean, I barely even did homework because I couldn't sit down for an hour. And,
barely. Didn't do any.
I mean, this was a lot, you know? I mean, I'm kidding. But
it's true.
I'm more of a natural being of building relationships and doing what I do in my job. And it has nothing to do with homework or things like that.
No, it's your charisma.
I don't know if it's that.
I just think on the fly.
It's my joy in people.
And you're able to create connections. That's what makes you really good at what you do. And it makes you a really good friend and a really good person to be around.
I appreciate that.
I remember when I first met Mike, T was going, okay, so you're either going to love him or you're going to hate him, because there's no in between with Mike.
That's true.
And I always thought, really? Well, I happen to love him, but is that still true today? Have you learned temperance a little bit?
I would say so. I think Teresa,
she softened you.
She did, but not, but I still don't have the tolerance for BS.
That's not a bad thing, though.
The one, I do think God gave me a gift of learning how to read people quickly. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not feeling the vibe, I have a hard time.
You're not a fake it person, which I actually appreciate that.
I just can't. You just know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's allows me to get very close to people that I like to, but there's people that just don't like to get close. And I don't think that works well for me.
I think being able to read people like that, it allows you to buffer that energy that isn't positive or isn't going to be good for you.
Yes.
And so you being able to see that right away, it just saves a whole lot of time.
Yeah, where Teresa, on the other hand, people can make fun of her and laugh at her, how good she was at work. And she would just show them love and a smile.
Where you wanted to punch him in the face?
Oh, gosh. I would have probably thrown him in the ocean. She just had that patience for people that I don't. I have a little more, but not like that.
She did have a lot of patience.
Because before
she had more patience than I did.
Oh, I know. Oh, she was a unique angel. She felt like she needed to live like Jesus. Like everyone needs love, no matter who they are.
That's true, though, too.
I know. It's just some of us.
Not everybody was blessed to be able to walk the walk like that, but it is true.
Yeah, I'm learning.
I know you are.
I'm trying.
So when you think of T today, what are the ways you still feel her presence?
Yeah, that smile, that deep love. I feel her all the time. There's this song, and also if you look up hashtag be like T42. Her number was 42, which was created after this passing, but we knew her favorite number is 42 growing up. And it's amazing, this group of people, probably up over 100 people, when they see 42 somewhere, whether it's your table number, they take a picture, or it's a bill 40. Or one amazing thing was when we were in Costa Rica after the celebration of life for her, and Kinsey and I go down to the pool as a resort, and there's probably 6 pools, and we choose this pool, and we finally get in the pool, and I look over and and my heart stopped. I'm all, oh my God. She goes, what? I'm all, look over there. So there was no one sitting there, but there was a tank top, and it said the number 42. And I've traveled, like I told you, a lot of places in my life, and I've been to a lot of pools, and I've been to a lot of beaches. Right. I have never seen that in my life.
Wow.
And it was trippy. So there's things like that, you know, how can you forget her? And there's a song by Mumford and Sons that Teresa went to her first festival with us at Del Mar in 19, and Mumford and Sons was playing. And I was with my brother Pete, who's very close with Teresa as well, and TJ. And this song came on, and I don't think I had really heard it. And Teresa puts her arms up like we're at church. It was the trippiest thing. And I remember it was either me or TJ goes, we're not at church, Mom. We're not at church. And she didn't even hear us. Wow. It was like she was in this spirit of this song. And if you hear it, the song's name is 42. I had no clue until later. I downloaded Mumford & Sons, and I see 42, and I hear it. And it's exactly about losing your loved one and spreading their ashes. I mean, it was like Teresa's story.
Yeah.
And the fact that several months earlier, she's praising this song like she's at church. And it was so powerful. And that song, when I hear it, whew, you got to hear it.
Well, now I'm going to go download it after we're done.
And I sent it to my whole family's chat that we have, and they're all, oh my gosh. I mean, it's the story. It's powerful.
It's like she knew, but she didn't know, you know?
Yeah, she did. That's what's weird.
On some level.
So, I mean, that's one other thing. A few months before, it was just like, never been to festival shop. That was the greatest 3 days of experience that I've ever been to a concert. But that moment was, none of us understood it at the time. Mm-hmm. And none of us had heard that song. So it was pretty powerful.
That is very powerful. How do Mackenzie and TJ try to keep her presence in their lives?
Oh, it's daily.
I mean, TJ's picking a girl that's probably...
It's a lot of similarities.
Like,
yeah. A lot of similarities.
Right? So
yes. I mean, it's...
But how do they keep her spirit alive in their own lives? I know that there's a 42...
I think it's just, they're such product of Teresa. It's not even... It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. You know, they both have hearts like Teresa. Mm-hmm. TJ's a little more... He's stubborn, like T was a little bit. And tempered. You know, Teresa, believe it or not, had this temper. You didn't want to see that happen. But when it did, you better watch out. It was kind of from her dad, but she also had that sweet soul like her mom, you know? So she had a good blend, but you know, then that temper came out. Whew. I remember when we broke up, I saw that temper. It wasn't good. Didn't want to see it again, but I just think it's just more of a natural being of just always feeling her presence, you know? And I think that's good for them. And they talk about it. They don't put it aside.
I think that's really important.
I talk about it a lot when I travel and people are asking me, you know, what's your life like? I'm all, are you sure you want to know? Yeah, I'd love to hear. And once I hear it, then all of a sudden I get to see a lot of crying. And sometimes I don't want to tell the story because I don't want to make somebody cry, especially if it's a woman that has makeup on a plane. Mm-hmm. You know, but I'm willing to share.
Does it help to share?
Of course. They think, oh, I didn't mean to ask. No, hey.
Because from my perspective, if we don't talk about our loved ones that have passed, there's an honoring of them, but it also keeps them alive to other people and to myself.
Sure.
I mean, you know, I lost my first son. And so that's also very uncomfortable for people. And the kids talk about him, you know, that they had a brother, even though they never met him because they weren't born yet. But it's very natural in our family to keep memories of our loved ones alive, whether it's with stories or just saying, oh, I saw a butterfly today.
Yes.
We all send each other pictures of monarchs. I think it's super healthy. I know some people don't. They get taken aback because they think that, oh, it's inappropriate. Or I think what it is, we feel uncomfortable making someone else uncomfortable.
It's the uncomfortable, right? And people sometimes...
I'm not uncomfortable with it, but I know that
they
people don't know what to say.
Right.
And so sometimes I don't, bring it up.
Yeah, I have somebody at my work last year lost his son at 14 years old. And he actually got on our stage and talked about what not to say. And talking about the uncomfortable is not as uncomfortable as you think.
Right.
And shared, if you knew anything about my son, always share it with me because it really helps. And that was tragedy, what happened to his son. And that was their only son. And I've seen him speak twice, and every time he gets me, and he will talk to me before he goes, are you okay with this? I said, yeah, I just don't understand how you can get in front of 350 people and do this and talk about this and then share, because he cries every time. But he's honoring his son, and he's trying to help other people get out of that uncomfortable. Right. And he talks about what not to say, like, don't ask me how I'm doing. No. That's probably the worst thing you could ask. If there's like 20 different things, he says, don't do this. Don't ask these questions of somebody who just lost somebody. Because they're not doing well. Right. Like, how the hell do you think I'm doing? Right. People ask me that, and I think as time goes on, it's easier to answer that. You're never going to be the same. Huh? No. And for someone to expect that you're going to get over it or move on from it, those are not your people. That is an interesting statement you said, because that was what was happening in the dating world when I go on these first dates. And I hope you didn't give any of them second dates. That's like... So things have been going well. Oh, you're a great guy. You're different than all the guys I've dated. But can I ask you a question? I'm like, sure. I'm thinking, it's going to be a cool question. So are you over it? Did you get up from the table? And I would feel this electricity through my body, like, bite your lip. And I couldn't. And I said, listen, I'm over this date. And I really appreciate you sharing what your heart's like. So early. And to think, I can understand you wanting to get over your miserable husband that you were married to for the past 20 or 15 years, but you don't get over a soulmate. No, you don't get over the love. You go through life without your soulmate, but you never get over it. No. It's easy to get over your divorce, but it's not easy to get over someone you lost that you'll never get to see again for the rest of your life. So, people in the dating world, just be careful when you date somebody who's lost somebody. Don't ask that question. Yeah, there's one of the don't ask lists. Just don't ever ask that question, because that one is not a good one. All right. So you said you give fewer shits about the small things, which actually made me chuckle. What matters most to you these days then? I think just living my life as drama-free and as fluid as it can be, and just let it come to me. And just don't be around people that are just going to try to bring you down. I mean, even though they don't know they are, you can feel that energy amongst people. I don't have the time anymore to try to have patience for that. Even in my work, and my boss is like, he's like, oh, I think that guy's a good person to possibly recruit. Of course, I go meet him. I don't like him. I'm all, no, I told him he can't be here. He goes, what? I'm all, he doesn't fit. So why? I said, because I know I'm going to have to deal with him, and it's a problem. He's all, you know what, Mike? I appreciate that. You're going after the right people. You actually say no. I said, you're damn right I will. Don't have time for the We're going to build a strength here in our company that we're going to have the best of the best. Because if I put the wrong person in this, let's call it a cancer, into this group of people, it's not going to go well. And I know this person won't fit. And it's kind of just like with my life. Even when I travel 35 days, I could feel the energy of certain people quickly and would not surround myself. Like if I went into a bar and I just felt this, you probably want to get out of here. And I'm just letting life kind of hit me that way of just let it come to you.
And listen to it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. What has this experience taught you about love? And it's the love that lasts beyond this lifetime.
Yeah. If I look at the love I had, I still have, it doesn't come often and easy. But when it does, embrace it, but to also appreciate it, which I have. But I think some people might look superficially at things in life and don't really look at the true heart of people, which is what I'm looking really for, is the true heart of people. You know, superficial runs quickly. Love stays forever.
It really does, doesn't it?
It definitely does.
Okay. So for someone standing in that early fog of losing their soulmate, losing their partner, what would you tell them now?
Well, I think we have to really realize what we had is very important, and that it's a gift that love was put in our lives. I think that's going to allow you to get through the next steps, to truly embrace that and understand that, you know, God only puts certain people in your life at certain times, and learn to be very grateful for it. And you'll never stop remembering them. You won't. As much as you go through times where you go, I just get it out of my head. I can't, but you realize it's not bad. It's not a bad thing to continually to remember them, whether it's daily, weekly, I don't know, whether it's every hour, it's okay. It doesn't mean you're not getting over it necessarily, because you won't.
No, it means you're going to carry them with you.
Yes. And I think people will see that love in your heart, and that I've been able to experience around people. They feel that, where if I say, oh yeah, I got over it after a year, I don't know if I really want to hang out with someone like that, because I don't believe them. Right. Unless it was a fictitious, it wasn't a real marriage. It wasn't a real relationship.
Yeah. Real love doesn't die.
No, it definitely does not. And it stays with you forever. And you learn to appreciate it, and you learn to let it kind of come to you naturally instead of finding it. Because when you find it, you're going to find toxicity that you're going to wish you didn't run into it. You know, learn to read the signs, learn to listen to the ones that love you the most.
Yes.
When they make comments,
yes,
don't just shut it off like, I'm good, I make my own choices, because they always see the good in you and for you.
People help you.
Yes.
All right, final question. If you had to describe this chapter of your life in one word or phrase, what would it be and why?
I think that chapter is amazing. It was amazing. Magical.
Magical.
Unforgettable. You know, I mean, if there's 3 one words, those are them.
I agree. What I witnessed throughout the years of your relationship was a different level of commitment, because it came from that commitment of the soul, not just earthly. And what I mean by that is that soul connection can't be broken. And so you're going to go through hell and back, because there's no choice not to. There's no other person for you. And that's what I witnessed with you guys. And I've always been in awe of it. I personally have not experienced that in this lifetime, and I hope that's God's plan for me at some point.
Me too.
But
I think everyone should have one shot at that, at least.
So let it come to you, like Mike said, and be just open. Be present, though. You got to be present in order to see it if it's coming at you.
Yeah, everyone wants to know about the future.
No such thing.
You have no future if you don't have the present.
There's no such thing as a
No.
future.
No, there isn't. And
every moment in your present shapes whatever future that's going to be. But we're only ever here now.
That's
and
exactly
so
right.
One of my favorite phases is be here now.
Yes.
When people ruminate, or Luce used to do it a lot, right? I'd say you need to be here, right? Be here now.
Oh, I do that with Kinsey all the time, still today.
You probably have the same kid at different ages. We do a little bit. I mean.
Yeah. TJ stays in the present moment. It's neat to see. But Kinsey, she always likes, well, Dad, what about this in 3 years?
That's where the anxiety comes from.
How do you know you have 3 years?
We don't even know if we're going to be here.
Oh, well, you don't even know about tomorrow. Right?
Let's just roll it back to today.
Yes,
Let's do today.
Right now.
Do today well.
Yes.
And tomorrow will be whatever it's going to be.
Exactly. And that's what God wants to teach us, man. I mean,
I think so. I think
100%.
That's the whole purpose of being here, is to learning to be present and grateful and love.
The only thing that I think, if there's something that God wants us to look at in the future, it's just work on trying to get to heaven. But
I think you work on, my perspective is, you work on getting to heaven by learning to love yourself.
Yes.
And then learning to give that same love, that unconditional love.
Yes.
And work through your shit. And that's how I think you get to heaven, is you get to the point where you're at peace and you're living an authentic life.
Yes.
And that you have the tools that when things come at you that aren't great, that you'll get through them. And so we stop worrying about it. Stop worrying about them.
Right.
I stopped worrying about all that stuff because I'll figure it out when I get there. People think that's weird. I said, well,
it's the truth.
I'm not going to think about the 17 different things that could happen because, I've done that with business. And then the 18th thing happened that you didn't think of. Right. It's such a waste of time.
It is. It is. And it's the same thing in relationships. It's the same thing with anything you're doing. I mean, I tell people a lot, there's only 2 guarantees you have in life. You're born, and then you're going to die.
And you're going to die. I completely
But
agree.
everything in between.
But you get to create everything in between.
Exactly. And that's what I tell people.
That's the magic.
It is.
And you can make your life magical, and you can make your life purposeful and worth it.
Yes.
But you have to be present in the moment of each decision that you're making. Is that going to bring me joy? Is that going to make me feel satisfied, purposeful, or not? And when it says not, you got to just kind of start, even if you don't understand it, it's that gut, right? You don't have to analyze it. You just move in the other direction.
Yeah, 100%. You see that a lot of us are living that way where we're not. And you only got so much time.
That's why I wanted to do this episode. And I'm so grateful that you came on to let us witness your journey and your love story. And I know, man, your honesty, grief, and gratitude. It's knowing that grief and gratitude can coexist is what I hope that people watching this get out of that.
Me too. And I love sharing this with you.
I know. I love you, Mikey.
I love you too, girl.
So I'm going to wrap it up. Is there anything else you want people to know?
It's okay to move on from something that ain't right.
Yes, it is.
I just learned that lesson.
And the things that are right, it's okay to hold in your heart for the entire time you're here on earth.
That's true. That is true.
Right? Okay. So when loss comes without warning, it takes more than the person you love. It takes the shape of the life you thought you'd have. But even in the emptiness, love doesn't disappear. It reshapes itself into memories and conversations and quiet moments of connection that remind you you're still becoming. For Michael, Mackenzie, and TJ, healing has been less about finding answers and more about finding meaning. It's been about gratitude for the years they had, faith in the love that remains, and learning to live in the space between heartbreak and hope. If you're standing in your own unimaginable moment, I hope this conversation reminds you that you don't have to understand everything to begin again. Sometimes presence itself is enough. Our shift is ended for today. Until next time, stay curious, stay present, and stay in truth.
And love deeply.
And love deeply.